All right. Welcome, 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 everybody. We're glad that everybody is here. It is our Tuesday, not Nowsite Nerds, with myself, Charles Wood from Until You Win, and my wonderful co-host.
Hi, I'm Leanne with the Chief Joy Officer of Joyminder Consulting.
So is that Lions or Lyon?
Lion, Lyon, no S.
Just because we were, corrected. I heard the corrections by Sunny that it's Lyon is the next place that Nowsite is having their next big event. So,
yep.
Anyway, we want to welcome you. Leanne just is fresh and eager to share all sorts of fun stuff that went on at the Nerd Stock. And which happened over the weekend. I was on there live, and we had a really good time. For those of us who are part of the Now Club, we got to be virtual. We had our own little meet and greet, and we were able to talk to each other while everybody was talking and saying hi. So I'm going to let you take it away and tell us all about Nerd Stock and what you learned and what we all should know.
Absolutely. So first of all, it's just really fun. It was great to get back in person. A little known fact that people are always surprised to learn about me is that I am an introvert. I am a social introvert. I like sharing. I'm a teacher by heart. I just love to teach, love to train, love to do this with you each week, Charles. But in person, there's a lot more energy that goes out. So I think I'm still a little bit in recovery from all that energy, but it was so great. And I got to say, getting to be in the same room, I'm part of Now Club. So we had a private gathering Friday evening, and seeing the CEO, Justin Balababa, seeing Cheryl Coco, Director of Marketing, and they walk up and they're like, hi. And, they're just such real people. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
would you consider yourself a introverted extrovert?
I'm a social introvert.
Social introvert. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a introverted extrovert, where once I get to know somebody and I'm comfortable, I'm very outgoing.
Okay.
But if I walk into a room and I don't know anybody, I'm very quiet. But the moment I get to meet people and I feel comfortable, I become very extroverted.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have no problem walking in a room and making friends and shaking hands and starting conversations at all. But when I leave, I need to go find a really quiet place to sit for a little while.
Gotcha.
You
need to recover from
it. I need to recover from it. I'm the type that no fans on at night. Just keep it quiet.
Oh, see, I got to have a fan going. I got to have, I want the air movement and the white noise.
So. Yeah. And I don't know that that's a true indicator of extrovert, but it drains me. If there's a lot of sound going on all the time, all night long, that drains me as well.
Gotcha.
So definitely interesting.
So it was wonderful to meet and see people. That's
wonderful
to
awesome. Meet and see people. And then the next day on Saturday, of course, we got all the new updates, all the new cool stuff that's happening. And all the new things that they're launching. And so today I was just on a call, and we were looking through the websites, and I found that some of these things are already available to do. So I'm going to just click on, well, that's what we're going to show. So I'm going to open up one of my websites, and this is actually one that I'm going to play with anyway. It looks much like my main Joyminder consulting website, but since it's not, I'm just going to play with some stuff over here. So I'm going to go into the edit button, edit mode on this current website by clicking on the little pencil on the left-hand side. And we talked a couple weeks ago about the countdown timer. That's here. And so mostly it looks the same, but some things have just changed. So I'm going to point out right here, this is the form right now. And my form highlights a lot more than you might expect. It actually has a lot of padding in it. But let's say I just want to add a new form in here, and I'm going to grab the customer form. It's the third one down on this column. and I can drag it. When you click on it, you left click and drag, and then you can choose where that section is going to go. So I'm going to just drop it here. I'm not really sure why I have 2 sections there. And here's the new default layout of the new form. So first thing I notice is that it goes all the way across versus, right? So it stretches all the way across. Now, to do editing in Nowsite, of course, you go to the left-hand side. And by the way, if anybody's sitting here, what's Nowsite, and you're Googling it, just don't want to say that right now, this is an affiliate marketing product. Charles and I are both affiliates. Charles's affiliate code will be beneath here, or you can put in the chat if you want to, whatever. Use that if you want to check out and explore Nowsite. It'll get you to the front page. You can look it all up and learn about it, but use his affiliate code, and then you get affiliated with us, both of us, him and me. So, don't just go out and Google stuff or you'll end up with random people. So here we are in here, and it says name and it says email, and it says enter your name, enter your email. And then you have a add a new field section. So we can add a checkbox. We can add a radio button. We could add a large text box. So now, if we wanted to add a large text box and say add, we could add the label of how can we help. And even
so people can actually have a larger area now that they can input information.
Yep.
Very nice.
And then we can have a placeholder text of enter your feedback here. See how that
is awesome,
right? Now wait, there's more. So let's say we decide to go with that one. We can make it required or not required. That's fine either way. And then let's say we want to add another new field. Look at this. So the couple of the new ones is a drop down, radio button, and checkbox. So we've never had this availability to choose these before. So I'm going to start with.
So why don't you show us both of those? Because those are, when you think about the ability to give somebody an option of what sort of information they want from you.
Exactly. So a radio button is the first one I selected. And now it pops up here. It says radio button label. So let's say business. I want to choose business owner as one option. And then I can manage choices. I'm going to add another choice, which is thinking about a business is another option.
So the first one is the title, and then as you add options,
which
nice
defines you best.
Very nice.
Thinking about a business owner, direct sales, and let's just add one more. I'll add 2 more. One is real estate sales person.
So everybody, if you haven't figured this out, Leanne and I do most of this on the fly. We have a loose topic of what we want to talk about, but to be honest, we don't have it already mapped out. So this is us thinking on the fly.
This is us doing on the fly.
Do it on the fly, yes.
Yep. Other. Okay, and so we can do that, and then underneath the other, I could say, tell us what it is. Okay, so that's one option, and then if I want to do a, and then we'll do this live to show how they act different, because a radio button acts different than a.
Right. So if I remember correctly, a radio button is a single, you can pick one of them, whereas a checkbox, you can select multiples.
Yep, exactly. So with the checkbox, you might say, I'm just going to throw this out there, states you have lived in. I know that's completely ridiculous, but I'm trying to think on the fly. States.
Well, no, I mean, like for you, you're in Minnesota. So what states surround Minnesota? Because you'd be interested if do people have family that they've left in those states, right?
Right.
I mean, we wouldn't put all 50 states, or like for you, maybe as a real estate agent, what counties are you interested in buying a home in?
Yeah, and actually take a look at this, Charles. Again, this is on the fly. It did something different than I expected. There is a checkbox that says states you lived in, but it's not giving me options. So these are single options. That's how they made it multiple choice. So that would not be a great selection. I'm going to edit that. Do you live in Minnesota? Let's see. I guess it's not a question either. So I'm going to say here, I live in Minnesota. And then the next checkbox, I'm going to edit to say where you live. I live in California.
Okay.
And then I'll do one more. I live in both Minnesota and California. I mean, just again, throwing it out there.
Right.
Now we're going to do the third option, which is a drop down, which actually would have been a better example for the California stuff. But let's do this. So we're going to do a drop down. We're going to add it. And now the drop down. So where do you live? Just because. Placeholder text. I'm just trying this out. And then manage choice. Okay. Where do you live? Then manage choices. Best state ever, Minnesota. Followed by Texas. Now reluctantly.
Florida there.
California, I guess. Okay.
None of us want to live in California, by the way. Even those of us who live here.
So we're going to, yeah, I've heard 70% of the people that are moving into Texas right now are moving from California.
Yes, they are.
So, okay, so I've added all this stuff. So let's take a look now. I'm going to hit save. And let's preview this. Good girl. My cat's stopping by to visit. Sorry about that. Hey, Sam, you feeling loud again?
Hi, cat.
He's just mad because I haven't fed him his lunch yet. If you hear the
it's almost dinner time there for you.
I know. If you hear the birds chirping in the background, that's because I have no windows in my office right now. So everything, if the neighbors come, still. If the neighbors start talking, we'll hear them too. So here we go, scrolling down. So here's the new form that we put in. If I hit just register, you'll see it pops up that the name and email are required. So I'll put in a couple things. Okay. How can we help? Then this is where I can put this information in. Some random stuff I put in. Now so which defines you best? Thinking about business all the time. Business owner. See how it only lets you have one highlighted?
Yes.
They don't fill in, which is interesting. I think it would be better if it filled in, but that's a personal opinion. It's kind of cute that it doesn't. But you can only pick one. So I'm going to pick business owner. And then for the check boxes, though, I could select them all. Right?
Right.
So check boxes. Oh, good. The gun club's starting up. We can hear that too. And then where do you live? Now is the drop box. So this, where do you live? Better terminology probably would have been select one. Because again, with the drop boxes, you can only pick one. Nice. So and then when I click register, now all that information goes into my contact field and it says page owner was notified.
And I think what's interesting here is we forget that we've been using like a basic within our platform.
Mm-hmm.
And to have this as a real, here's information, right? Whether you want to do it as an application or a questionnaire, or like, what is it that you need to get from the person to get them to the next step?
Yeah.
And so often we've been using this, our contact form, and adding these new fields that people weren't really able to do what we wanted, which was, you know, are you thinking about a business? Are you a business owner? Are you in direct sales? Are you real estate? Right? That's such a great example of the information that we need in our in our CRM to reach back out to the person and go, hey, you filled out my form. You gave me your information, and it shows that you're interested in, or you're in direct sales. Tell me more about what you're doing.
Right.
So it gives us a platform to have a further discussion,
Which I'm so
I think is
excited
the
about,
big thing.
because there's so much more coming with related to what you're talking about.
Oh, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is what I know for me, this is what is just the very, very beginning of what I was looking forward to.
Yeah. So let me show you one other thing. I'm going to go to style.
Yes.
One other thing that's really exciting, I think. If we go to style now, we're still editing this block.
Yes.
And you can do the usual stuff. You could put an image in the background. You could put different things in the background. And I just had a nerd appointment, by the way, today with one of my websites, and she's just, again, amazed.
Very nice.
With so this is one of the updates that they've got Pixabay is what they're using, and we can just search for almost anything. So I type in the word sales, and they come up with a lot of different options here. I'll select that because it's kind of like I'm collecting information, right?
Very nice. I think Cheryl talked about a clipboard, as a matter of fact.
Yep. So there we go. And then spacing, same as before. Visibility, advanced. Oh, there was something more to this. Hold on. I missed it. It must be in the settings. You know what? I'm in the wrong section. So, okay. Because I just put a background behind everything and not just this one section. So now let's go to style. Over here, look at all the options. Section background, which I could have done just the background for just the one section instead of all the way across.
Correct.
Form layout. Boom. One column or two.
Very nice.
So it just automatically converted it to a 2-column layout if I wanted to do that instead. So pretty cool. Form label. That must be something, but I'm not really sure what. Oh, that's just saying I can decide now, it's going to be, I can customize it to be different colors. So let's change it bright red and see what it is. There we go.
Nice. So each one of those headers has its own.
Yep. Well, all the headers are going to be uniform.
So definitely what ends up needing to be done, though, is you do need to add, when you go from a radio to a checkbox, that you need to have something in between so that it breaks up that space.
Yeah.
Because the checkbox evidently doesn't have a label on it right now.
Right. And usually people won't do both a radio and a checkbox.
Correct.
It would usually be one or the other, and I can check to see if I've done something there. So we got that. And then the field text can also be done differently. So if we go here, see what's changing now?
Nice.
So that can be changed to different things. And made bold if we want to, right?
Yes.
So, and this is how Charles and I figure those things out, by the way.
And honestly, that's really nice that you can make it bold when you have a picture behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that we could put a gradient behind that area so that yeah. Oh, there we go. So we can use that picture, and then we can use a gradient behind it so that you actually get a changed image. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The fields you can also control how big they are, the margin, the what's this one called? Radius. Oh, I'm so curious with it.
Oh my god! No, yeah.
yes!
Oh, do you realize how exciting that is?
We both nerded out.
Oh my gosh!
We can round the edges.
I'm almost jumping up and down if I could
I am
jump.
so excited about that.
I
Okay,
mean, this is something that, like, when you look at a form, you never see somebody create one that has a perfectly square box.
edge. Never.
Like square edges, like that sets people. There's something subconscious about having a curved edge.
It's so much friendlier.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, and then we can change background colors for them too. I mean, I don't know why you would. I'm just saying you can. And the border colors. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yes, we can change the border colors.
Oh my goodness, is that not so? I mean, if you're helping somebody create a page that's based on colors, like they have a color theme that they're sticking with. You do. I do also. I use I have 3 different green colors that I use. So I'm like, for me, this is really exciting.
Here we go. Button attributes. Boom. Okay, that's the button that we had before. That's less exciting. Okay. I thought it was going to be for like what the check boxes and stuff were. Oh, yep. Here we go. Radio buttons and check boxes. Nice. So we can match it. Now they can
match it to whatever our theme color is.
The register button. Yeah. I mean, I'm changing everything is a different color now. Oh, I'm so doing. This is fun. Okay. And then visibility, that's been there for a little while, where you can choose, is this true for mobile or PC or both?
Correct.
So there you go. So now I have a very colorful.
You do.
1 column form that it could be 2 columns if I wanted it to be. So that's just one of the new things that we came across. And it, I find it very exciting, obviously.
Well, I mean, come on. Who gets excited like over curved edges and
so here you can
see the color
more clearly, like how different I made that now. Super fun.
Very nice.
So I'm going to save that.
All right. So what other thing do we have to show everybody?
Let's see. Under here, so name, on my name, I can go in here. And this is where you get your basic account information. You can set up your emails in here. One new one is domain control. This is coming July 1st. It may or may not already be in existence.
It is in existence. You can actually now forward your domain so that it resolves with Nowsite. It works perfect. It's
okay.
It's a
and you've done it already?
Yes. So if in one of your blank ones, in a blank tab, type in thecharleswood.com. So this is my URL that's pointing to Nowsite. And it's taken a moment.
It sometimes does. Especially on my Wi-Fi. I apologize.
It's all good.
I'm moving.
And is it going to be better when you get there?
Well, I don't know. It's actually the neighborhood is a little bit older than this neighborhood. So, but maybe they have more upgrades to their, what they can offer for Wi-Fi and different things too. So.
It does take a minute. I've heard a couple other people say that it does take a smidge longer, but it does show up.
Okay. And right now, of course, once his website has been in my computer once, it will load much faster. And I will say part of this is my own Wi-Fi. I really swear that that's true, because unfortunately people won't stick around necessarily. All of this color and movement and stuff, though, could also be a little bit of why it's a little slower too. It
is. I need to move the background to a GIF instead of a URL. But
absolutely. Oh yeah, 100%.
That's all in time, but this is all done on Nowsite.
And now what we see up here in the URL bar, so I just highlighted in the upper left-hand corner, thecharleswood.com stayed. It's still there.
Yes.
It didn't change over to say .now.site. So I'll give you another example. Watch this now. I will go to joy-minder.com, right? But watch that URL. I'm going to hit enter. And it switched to .now.site.
Right, because you on your end you have it forwarded to that specific website.
Right. So Charles, now maybe you can tell me, because you've done this. If I add my custom domain here, here's the question though.
Yes.
Since I already have my .com pointing to my Now site,
you have to go change it.
I was going to say I can't do the reverse at the same time. I have to undo what I've got so far. Correct. And then redo it. Okay.
Yeah, and that would be a good one for us to put on our list. In fact, it's going on my list right now.
And actually, you can. I think that's a great idea. And honestly, I probably am going to book a nerd appointment and have them do it for me.
Right, but part of what we do is show people how to do that.
We do that. We do a lot. Okay. One other in here, domain control. So that's domain control. Very exciting and very cool to see yours. Monthly payments, then notification settings. This I also think was newer. So just so you know, somebody said, yeah, I get assaulted by site pop-ups. Yes. And I'm like, oh, bummer. But you can actually enable and snooze push notifications if you know you can. You can come in here and you can, unselect. You can, if they're on, you can also snooze and you can choose your amount of time, 1 day, 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Why would you do that? Because maybe you're doing a recording like this and you don't want pop-ups on your computer. Tool tips and email notifications. These are, I'm not even really sure what this would turn on or off. I'd love to see more.
I don't know either, but I think what's really cool about what they're doing here is that we're going to be able, I think in the future, to be able to say, I only want to receive, one notification a day, right? That I could see that coming because there are a bunch of emails that come out. So to be able to have this first step in control, we always know that there's always the first step that they try and they get it out there and see how it works. And then they ramp it up 10 times. Like everything that Justin does is 10x. There is never something like he throws something out there. So let's go back and let's talk about some of the other things that have gone on.
But just one more quick thing here on this one too. Another reason I think that this is in, I'll call it beta at the moment, kind of agreeing with what Charles just said, but also one of the future advancements is that when somebody does sign up, you'll get a notification. Hey, so-and-so just signed up. Or, hey, so-and-so just, here's a hint, did this.
Yes.
So those kind of notifications are part of the notification settings too. So Insight's a whole nother thing. That's coming in August, but there's huge reason to get in before it because that makes it free. Biggest reason ever, because I can imagine this could have a price tag on it that could be worth it, but why not get it for free?
So let's talk about some of the other things that I think are really important for people to know about.
Or should I go to my slides? Because I've got.
Oh, yes. Let's go to your slides and let's have a discussion about some of the stuff that was discussed about.
Sure. So I put together my After Nerd Stock slides. I'll switch over to those.
Perfect. Because one of the things when we talk about, Justin 10xing, like Justin is, I'm beginning to learn how much of a master he is at the rollout. So if we go back to when I enrolled in January of this year, I enrolled right when they announced this new thing called Nowsite Marketing Pro. And this was going to revolutionize what we did. But the reality is Justin was thinking 10 steps ahead of everybody else without letting us know. Now he rolls out pieces of the pie And so we just rolled out 2 months ago, right? Creative Pro and Creative Pro Plus.
So actually, we'll go back further. I've been in Nowsite for a year, and that was in July of last year. So I'm really close to my 1-year anniversary of Nowsite. And within September 1st, they launched Nowsite Life. We haven't talked a lot about that. It's out there. But that was actually, Justin said this at the convention, Nowsite Life in September ended up being a precursor for why we got nerds in January. Because through Nowsite Life, we learned that people want more help. And Nowsite Nerds was his chance to say, hey, could this work? So yes, he does 10X. And at the same time, he's always testing. Like, hey, we're going to do this. And Nowsite Life is a crazy platform. And it's really, it could be and will be someday big. But, then January was Nowsite Nerds. Let's give this a try. Hey, what if we did this and it worked? So they launched Marketing Pro in about February. And then March, they came up with hey, let's give this a try. Anybody get in on Creative Pro early? This is a hint, everybody. Something coming in August. In March, they said, get in early, and it's this amount. I got in early. I did the extra.
It was we got in early. It was 19 a month instead of the 27, right? And we got $60. And then he added because there was so much pressure for it to have more, that he did Creative Pro Plus, so you could get 2 of them. So now when we look at what's going on, we're looking at, what's the new name of it?
Nerd It Up.
Nerd It Up, right?
Yeah, actually, I think
it's amazing how we have embraced this nerd culture in Nowsite. Like Nowsite, and what's great about it is if you think about the subliminal message in this, right?
Yeah.
Nowsite Nerds, like we have allowed people to be the nerds for us, even though you have those of us that are the not Nowsite nerds. We still love the nerd stuff, but the reality is
really
we have people that will do this stuff for us, and there's nobody else out there that has this going for them.
Like I said, I have the ability to do some of this stuff, but I already said earlier, I'm going to still have the Nowsite Nerds do some of this stuff. I still have Nowsite Nerd meetings every other week. I created a new website I'm listing my home. I listed another home last week. So I'm creating websites for each home. So I created a base website. I thought it was pretty good. I brought it to the Nowsite Nerd, and she's like, boom, we're going to change this. We're going to add this. We're going to break this up. She just made it look better. So I don't have a marketing department on hand at my house to do that for me. But every other week, I get 30 minutes with a nerd, and I can throw anything at them, and they make it look better. And that's their specialty. So here's the kind of the new stuff. Bigger team all over the place. Literally, I work with nerds that are in Canada, the UK, the United States, France. They're all over the place. Uptime is huge. External domain, some of the stuff really nerdy. We talked about Pixabay already. Image library we talked about already. Savable sections. I don't know that we've talked about that, but this is massive.
We have not, but that is something we really should talk about.
Massively cool. Especially if you create multiple websites and you have certain things that you want to put in all your sites to create continuity. Responsive website editing. Controlling how your websites look on mobile versus PC. That we're doing. Animated GIFs and emails, website templates. They're going to be expanding those. I didn't have a chance to check to see if there is an expansion.
I have not seen one as of yet.
Okay. Looking forward to that. Countdown timer we've covered. Nowsite, show it again because it's pretty. Nowsite affiliate link button. We covered that last week, I think, or maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we did that.
Website builder button now opens in a new browser window, is available. I've been using that. I love it. Website builder. Oh, here, these are the other additions. Clickable images in the gallery. Email fields in the form are no longer mandatory so that they can request an SMS if they prefer. The ability to remove the blog section from the homepage. The increased character limit. Yes, I used that today because I had to put in a property description. I could use 750 characters now. Yes.
Super exciting to have those larger, that larger ability for sure.
Yep. Favicon and social share image. I love that they changed the title here to social share image because it really makes a big difference in how things show up when you share them on Facebook and text.
Yes.
Really make sure you put a social share image. I could talk about that for about 10 more minutes. Improved adding websites from the content section. Makes it easier to do it. SMS unsubscribe is now available. This has been one reason I've hesitated with SMS. Now it's available, and a whole bunch more stuff. What's coming next? Better form already there. So this is what we got to check out. Nerd services, the Nerded Up is coming. Organization and team structure, a little hazy on what this means, but I'm hoping it means that like my Joyminder team, I might be able to have multiple teams and be able to control what goes into different groups. I am, by the way, going to be opening up my team sometime in the next month or so to non-Joyminder affiliates.
Well, you're being brave.
Yeah, well, I'm just being generous. Mobile referral screen. This is going to be great. I love my mobile app, but I've been frustrated that I couldn't share my link instantly from it. So they're
super exciting. Just waiting for them. I mean, you think about the possibility with that. Think about the possibility of having a link for either Nowsite or whatever other business that you're in that sends a video right from your phone. I mean, that's coming, right? If we can share a link,
well,
right?
We're
going to be able to share more information.
Okay, so actually in the Nowsite app right now, I mean, you can share your website links already.
Yes.
And so here's my app. And right down here in the middle is where I can click on websites. And all of my websites start showing up with their social share image, by the way.
Nice.
That's another way to see it is how do they show up even on the app. And then when you select one, you can go directly to that site or you can copy the URL to share it instantly. You can share it directly from back here too. This really, oops, I'm in the wrong section. So anyway, let's continue here. Browser notifications, we talked about that. New lead, you have a new lead from Justin Balababa. Yes, he signed up for my stuff. Just kidding. But that's going to work. Domain purchasing, we already talked about that. That's already working. This is the stuff that they said is what's next. It's already there.
Domain purchasing is coming. The domain control is already there.
Oh, domain purchasing is coming Thursday.
Soon. We hope.
Well,
keeping our fingers crossed.
It said. I heard it. I'm sure.
Okay. Then it's coming on Thursday.
All right. And then the last amazing piece functionality that this guy could talk about was the amazing analytics. And we're going to have to talk about Insight another time, unless we're going to go for another 30 minutes.
No, can't go for another 30 minutes. We've already been cranking out here for about 40.
I know.
So definitely, I am looking forward to when analytics comes so that we can actually dive into that and really take. It's one thing I don't look at enough. I know part is maybe because I don't fully understand it.
Is that cute? Okay, so that's the social share image for that.
Gotcha.
Site. And then when I open up that site, I can actually choose, do I want to copy the URL? Do I want to share the URL? Do I want to visit the website? Or do I want to send as a VCF, whatever that is?
Gotcha. That's awesome.
So that's all right from our apps right now. And now we'll also be able to, and I don't see enough yet.
So I know that when I was talking about 10Xing and about Nowsite Marketing Pro and Creative Pro and Creative Pro Plus, and we know that we're moving to Nerded Up. I'm going to get it right. But Nerded Up is coming. And the great part about it is instead of Nowsite Marketing Pro is great. We got twice a month, we got to talk to somebody and have a 30-minute session, right? Perfectly great. But I like how they're doing this new Nerd It Up in the fact that it's still about the same, $40 a month. So that's what Nowsite Marketing Pro was. That's going away in 2 days. So if you're watching this after the 30th of June, there is no such thing as Nowsite Marketing Pro. That was a figment of your imagination. So everything is going to Nerd It Up, which is super great. Those of us who have signed up for Marketing Pro or Creative Pro, we get to keep those.
Or both.
And right. Well, I have Marketing Pro and Creative Pro Plus. So you start doing the math on what we're spending and how much services that we're going to be getting, even at $40 a month. And even if you can buy a second at $40 a month to get $160 or $120 in services.
Yeah.
To have people write your emails for you, your blog posts, your social media posts, your email campaigns, to actually help you build a site, to help you work on your ads, whatever it is that you need. They're fine tuning this, because I was getting to a point that I was like, well, yes, I need somebody to help me work on my website, but I don't need it twice a month. It's like I really needed emails written, not somebody looking at my emails. I know how to do my emails. I need more emails written. So that's a super exciting for us now to be able to pick and choose what we're doing and use that $60 that we have, 60, 120, 180, whatever it is that you have, to be able to use those however you see fit.
Right. And that's exactly it. I told people if you don't have Creative Pro, get it. $27 for $60 in services is just a steal. Just get Creative Pro while you can. You can't even get Creative Pro Plus anymore, by the way. If you go to hireyournerd.now.site, it doesn't give that option. You can get Creative Pro or Marketing Pro or Nerd It Up or one of the two other options, but
getting ready to get rid of that for sure.
Yep. So get Creative Pro for sure, and then get Marketing Pro if these make sense. If the bonuses of 1,000 SMS and 15,000 emails extra makes sense, then get Marketing Pro too, because then you can still get your 2 nerd meetings and you get Creative Pro, then you got the 2. If you don't need 2 nerd meetings per week and you don't care about this, then Nerd It Up is going to be another option that you could switch to.
I would say that if you're watching this before the 1st of July and you do not buy Marketing Pro instead of Nerd It Up, then I would say you need a checkup from the neck up.
It is. I mean, I'm keeping it. I'm definitely keeping Marketing Pro.
I mean, having that 1,000 SMS and the extra 15,000. I mean, I'm only sending I think I said 7,000 last month, and I don't think I'm going to hit 7,000 emails. And you get 15,000 per email address that you have. So just the ability to have that and know that you have that cushion. So if you get on a good month, it can be really amazing what happens. So anyway, that's all that I have time for. I really do have to go. So. Yep. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. And we will see you next week with some good stuff. Yeah. I have my list going on my whiteboard. So until next time, have a good one, everybody. Bye.